I got totally distracted about something. I was thinking about something, and then suddenly it's like, oh my God, it's so late. So, welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 5 of Radiate. Just gonna have to pause 1 second. So yes, it's day 5 of Radiate, and it's slightly confusing that today is the 8th of June and it's day 5. But we'll manage. We will go beyond the numbers. So today is all about reaching, side bending, and twisting, and very similar to yesterday, and just that sense of the lines of us and that which supports us from the inside. So come lie on your mat, and we shall begin. Come, come. So landing in on your back, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. And just find, how are your two shoulders, left and right? Do they feel the same size? Do they feel different? Weight, size, contact with the floor, shape. And just find one thing, and then same with your hips. Are your hips the same size, weight, shape onto the floor? And then notice your feet. Are your feet the same size, weight, shape? Nice. Drop your knees down towards the right. And then reach your left arm long beside your ear. And just pause there. And so keeping your left hand where it is, roll onto your right shoulder. Is that true? Yes, that's true. Right shoulder. And then roll back so that your left shoulder comes to the floor. Roll onto your right shoulder. And maybe you try and bring your nose to the floor and then roll back. So you land with your left shoulder on the floor again. And again, roll onto your right shoulder. And as I do that, I feel this amazing sense of connection through the side of my left rib cage. Roll onto your back. Last time. Roll onto your right shoulder and pause there. My right elbow is bent. Somehow that feels really nice for my right arm. And then slide your left hand longer, and then reach your left leg long, and then try and reach the left leg, left arm. And so they're floating just above the floor. And just take a few long, deep breaths into the left side of your body. Nice. And then draw your left knee forward and bring your left elbow back. So I'm coming into propellers. And then glide your left hand overhead, bring it forward, slide your left foot back. You can have it bent or straight. So left arm goes back, left knee goes forward, left arm goes forward, left leg goes back. And so it's slightly different to propellers that we usually do. My hand is sliding along the floor as I do this. And my leg, I feel really nice lengthening my leg behind me. I bend my knee forward, squeeze deeply, and then I lengthen my leg backwards. Bend my knee forward, and I'm really starting to deepen into my chest, deepen into my armpit as I do this. Next time your knee comes forward and your left arm goes back, pause there. And I've bent my left elbow, and I'm like imagining that my left shoulder can come a bit deeper towards the floor. And I have this sense of really opening into the front of my left chest, deepening into my breath. Nice. Come all the way back. Land on the floor. Find center. And then drop your knees down towards the left. And reach your right arm long beside your ear. And pause there. Now let's deepen your breath into your belly. And then keeping your left elbow bent, roll over onto your left shoulder. And then roll back and land on the floor. And your arm is staying long overhead. So there's something in my right armpit that has to roll and engage as I do this. So I'm reaching my right arm overhead. I'm rolling onto my left shoulder. And I'm just really letting my ribs begin to open as I do this. Rolling onto my shoulder and then rolling onto your back. Rolling onto your shoulder. Pause there. Reach your right leg long, right arm long, and reach. And just take a few breaths deep into the right side of your body. I'm the wrong way around. My head ended up on the wrong side of the mat this morning. Don't know why. So now I'm really confused about my left and right. Even more confused. So reaching long, breathing into it. And then bend your right knee forward and sweep your right arm back. And my elbow bends as I sweep my arm back. And then my arm straightens, my leg straightens. My elbow bends, my knee bends as I propeller. And then I straighten my arm and I slide it along the floor as I slide my arm backwards. So just feel that. How do you squeeze, bending knee and elbow? And then lengthen, stretching arm and leg. Squeeze, bending knee and elbow. And lengthen. One more time. Squeeze. And lengthen. Nice. Come all the way back. Oh, maybe pause. Yes, pause would be lovely. So pull your right elbow back. Draw your right knee forward. And imagine that your right shoulder is going to just sink towards the floor a little bit deeper. Again, I feel this really deep opening through the right front of my chest, the pectoral muscle, the front of my armpit, the deep of my chest. Use the breath as movement. Nice. Come all the way back. Land on the floor. Shimmy yourself so you feel straight. And then begin to roll up and down along your spine. So lift your hips high and then roll your hips all the way down to land on the floor. Lift your hips high, really feeling the push through the front of your thighs. And then roll down. I'm going to reach my arms up towards the ceiling and bring my fingertips to touch. Roll up along your spine, push your hips forward, and then roll all the way down. This morning I was thinking about Thomas. Thomas is one of us yogis. He lives in New York. And on the 1st of May, Thomas made the commitment to do a year and a day of yoga. And I was wonder how Thomas is getting on. So hi, Thomas. How's your year and a day of yoga going? The reason why I thought of it is that several times over the last month, since Thomas committed to the year and the day, other people have talked about it. They've gone, wow, that year and a day thing, that hand fasting, that commitment, that Belataine commitment to doing something. And so, yeah, thanks, Thomas. You've really inspired other people. So next time you rise, pause. Pushing your feet into the floor, squeeze your bum, lift your hips, and then reach your fingers even more up towards the ceiling. Just feel your breath. Let the breath be the movement now. Let the breath really enliven and create an inner dynamic of movement and connection. So there's a sense of inhabiting the space. Really feel the shape of your breath. Feel the connectivity of your breath. Does it move left and right evenly? Does it move front and back evenly? Like, where does it inhabit the most? Can you deepen it more down into your legs or more into your arms? Can you lengthen your spine? It's like all these amazing questions can start to unfold as you breathe into something. Nice. Lower all the way down. Drop your arms overhead. Bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. Pause. I'm going to walk my shoulders away from my pelvis and my head. And suddenly I don't have to work to draw my lower back down. It is just down on the ground. Pause. Nice. And then spiral your left knee in. So now you're in zigzag lying on the floor. Breathe into your belly. Like, how would you create movement into your pelvis, movement into your hips with the breath right now? How would you deepen into this with the breath? Nice. Spiral your left thigh out so the soles of your feet are together. Use your breath to be a movement in the deep of you. And then spiral your right knee in. So you're in zigzag to the left with your right knee close to your left foot. And breathe into this. How would you be radiant from the deep of you as you lie here? Like, what does that mean to you? For me, as soon as I think of radiance, I think midline, and then I think heart. It's like midline heart. Just like this instant sense of like a flash in the deep of me. You just feel when you think of radiance, where does it live in your body? Nice. Spiral your right knee out. Bring the soles of your feet together. Squeeze your right knee up towards you. Hug it in. Lengthen your left leg long and just feel into the deep of this. Using your breath to create movement and connection. Change. Draw the left knee up. Hold on to it. Stretch the right leg long. Create movement and connection here, not correction, connection as you deepen your breath. Nice. Both feet to the floor, roll over, and just come into your downward dog. Pull your heels back, lengthen back through your hips. So when you feel now into both shoulders, do both shoulders feel equal and even in the push that they can create, or even in the feeling of how you connect to your shoulders? Like one of my shoulders feels like Wonder Woman's shoulder. And the other shoulder, yeah, it doesn't really feel like much. I know it's there. I have a shoulder, but I can't really feel the push into it. So I'm going to push a bit extra into the shoulder I don't feel as much. And when I do that, suddenly I feel that whole side of my body in a different way. So which shoulder can you not feel as clearly and push a bit extra into it? Then notice your legs. Which leg do you feel more or less? And see if you can push a bit extra into the one that you feel a little bit less. So as soon as I do that, I feel more of my torso. I feel more of my waist, my hips, my rib cage, my spine. I feel a sense of connection in a completely different way as I inhabit the arm that doesn't feel as much and the leg that doesn't feel as much. Nice. Just another few breaths. See if you can breathe into this shape. Nice. Walk your feet forward, walk your hands back, bring your elbows to your knees, and come all the way up to stand. How nice, how cool. So you have the option of using a stick or using the wall or using the side of a door if you don't have a wall handy. So bring your left hand to the wall and then draw your right arm in so your elbow's tucked in beside you, and then reach your right arm towards the wall. And then when you pull your right elbow down, draw your right knee up so you're touching your right knee and your right elbow together. And then bring your right foot down to the floor, push into it as you reach your right arm towards the wall. And then elbow to your knee. And when I bring my elbow to my knee, I'm softening the touch on the wall. I'm like floating my finger off the wall. Reach towards the wall with your right arm. And then bring your elbow to your knee. And when I do that, I'm softening the touch on the wall. Next time you bring your right leg, bring it behind you and towards the wall behind you. So I've tucked my right leg behind the left leg, and now I'm reaching my right arm also towards the wall. And just pause there. You can, if you want, bring your left hand and reach it down towards that right foot, or keep your hand on the wall if you feel like you need it. You can, if you want, turn and look towards your right elbow or right armpit. And just breathe into the length of the right side of your body. How do you create movement with your breath? How do you become radiant in this moment? What does that mean to you from the inside? Suddenly my face softens. I have a softer feel in my eyes, a softer feel on my face. Nice. Come all the way back to center. Wow. Bring your right hand to the wall and then reach your left hand towards the wall. And then pull your elbow down. And as you pull your elbow down, bring your left elbow, left knee together. Foot to the floor, reach your left hand over towards the wall. And left knee, left elbow together. Towards the wall. Together. One more time, towards the wall. And together. Next time your foot comes down, sweep your left foot behind your right leg so that the baby toe side of your foot's on the floor, and then sweep your left hand towards the wall. Stay here with your right hand on the wall, or reach your right hand down towards your left foot. Stay here, or turn your head towards your left armpit. It's like your nose is moving towards your arm. And breathe. How would you fill into this shape with your breath? Nice. Come all the way back up. Super. Just stand for a moment. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. And then pull your elbows into swan. Really lifting your chest as you pull your elbows into swan. And then reach your arms up and dive, like as if you're just about to dive into a swimming pool. Bend your knees, round your back forward. So it's a little bit like the spinal wave we did last week. A little bit. So pull your elbows back into swan. And then bend your knees. Imagine you're about to dive into a swimming pool. So how does your spine express movement here? How do you lean into wellness of the movement? Pull your elbows down into swan. Dive forward. Pull your elbows down into swan. Dive forward. Super. Wow. Come sit on the floor. Legs are long in front of you. So take your right leg and bring your right foot over your left leg. Reach both arms forward in front of you. Sit up really tall. Pull your right elbow back into a bow and arrow. Bring your fingertips to the floor and then reach your left hand as far towards the right as you can. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And then drop your arm down where it's in contact. And deeply twist. How do you get taller? How do you open it into your chest? How do you become more radiant? So for me, straight away, as soon as I think of that now, my breath fills into me, fills into my heart in a different way. How do you deepen into your heart? How do you be tender, open, resilient, courageous, fierce? Nice. Release. Both legs forward. So there was this amazing yoga teacher I went to years ago. His name was Max Strom. Take your left leg, step it over. Reach both arms forward. Pull your left elbow back into bow and arrow. Bring your fingertips to the floor and then reach your right hand all the way around the corner as far as it goes. So really feel like, how far can I point that right arm over towards the left and then drop your arm down. Lengthen from there. So Max Strom, he did this amazing talk on breath and heartfulness and living a life with purpose. It was so inspiring. And one of the things he was saying is that, you know, to be courageous, to live deeply in your heart, it isn't a case of forgiving and forgetting. He said, because that lacks safety in our lives. And if we forget, then we'll just have to do the same thing over and over again. So he said, forgive and learn. So really inhabiting a space of safety and defining your boundaries and living in a way that is really wholesome for you, but that it's acknowledging and learning as we go. I just love this. I feel like I can expand into heartfulness when I deeply inhabit the learning of how we live in this life. How do you learn how to be safe in this world? How do you learn how to be heartful in this world? Release. And as we've done every day of this movement, reach your arms forward, turn your palms up and sweep wide. And then round forward. Wide, open your chest, forward, back, forward. Now, next time you reach your arms forward, the back of your hands come together, scoop towards your heart, forward and wide. Back of your hands together, scoop towards your heart, forward and wide. Back of your hands together, scoop towards your heart, forward, wide. Back of your hands together, scoop towards your heart, forward and wide. Last one. Back of your hands together, scoop towards your heart and forward. Pause there. Bring your palms together, bring your palms to rest just in front of your chest. Feel the tenderness of you and the fierce, awesome, like safe, well, courageous, tender, all of it. Be well. I'm really going on about the heart a lot at the moment. I'm loving it. I'm really such a deep adventure into my heart. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Sunday Yum. We'll be on the floor, deepening in. Thanks for being here. Sinead, thank you so much for all that you do. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much for the support. And yeah, nice. See you all tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.